Hello, everybody. It is great to be here one more time today. And my name is Gary Fowler, and I am the host of GSD Presents Silicon Valley AI in Tech. I'm a serial entrepreneur with 17 startups under my belt. I've been involved in startups from Click Software all the way to Eva.ai. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion. We believe that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. Today, GSD represents companies from 51 companies around the world, and we have over 100 companies in our portfolio. So with that, I'd like to introduce my friend Martin from Motorcheck. He's a co-founder and CEO, and by the way, he's from the startup country, Tallinn, Estonia. So with that, I'd like to bring Martin on board. So how you doing today, Martin?
I'm good. How are you, Gary?
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about it. You went to the Estonian Business School, and then you came out and you were working in insurance. So, how do you go down? What's this entrepreneurial journey like? So you went to business school in Estonia. What made you decide to go to the Estonian Insurance Association?
Well, it wasn't that much a decision, just a career path. You just go along from a university. So, yeah, I mean, there were interesting time, the banking after the regaining the independence in Estonia and other Baltic countries as well. So actually, the financial industry was first to really start blooming alongside with logistics. So yeah, those were interesting time, and I spent almost 20 years in financial sector. So it was, I must say that the financial institutions are taking care of their employees very well. I mean, I'm very grateful for the trainings that I receive, or coaching, and really learning by doing a lot, but also learning from other people in the industry and in the country and also in Scandinavia. So yeah, those were good times that actually made me the leader that I am now.
No, it's great. So you work for SEB Life, you work for Nordea Pensions in sales, and Liminar Pensions Estonia as operations. How do you go from sales to operations and product support? How does that work?
You just rotate managers, I guess is the correct answer. But I mean,
they get up and say, "I love sales, but listen, I want to move to operations and product support."
Well, the thing is that if you are in a management board, you anyway are reviewing things in quite a depth, so you know what's going on, and then you apply your best leadership skills and project management skills to lead people in other areas as well. So I would say that it's good to be the leader that can lead people in no matter what role, so you don't have any personal attachment to the specific role or task your people are performing. So it's important to all the companies to understand that leaders lead people, not tasks or functions.
So you went down through and you've done that. Then you go into product support. So you've done sales management, you've done operations and product support, then you do product support. Okay, so one day you wake up, and how in the world do you come up for Motorcheck? Where does that come from?
Well, it's a personal pain as a leader. My story is that I became a leader of international teams, so I had teams in different countries and stakeholders as well in Scandinavia as well. So, if you're traveling and seeing your team, you are, one day in city A and the other day in city B, then most of the time, for most of your employees, you are away. You are not with them. So it's super difficult to understand how your people are really doing. When you are with them in the particular location, you are, problem solving, you are handling stakeholders, you are looking at new projects, initiating stuff. And of course, you do the one-to-one meetings and have a chat and coffee breaks, but you really don't have the time to understand how your people are feeling and go so say in another way, to become such a friend that they tell you how they feel about things that are really going on in their occupational life or work life. Yeah, and I reached out to my HR partners as well and asking help really to really get a better understanding how my teams are doing in countries abroad. And of course, I had the video meetings all the time, but when I received a people survey results from 6 months old from my HR team, then I understood that this information is pretty much redundant to me. I can't do any decision making based on that. And when I digged in and understood that those surveys cover only part of employee experience, then I understood that it doesn't provide me the information what is the urgency or what is the most biggest priority I have to deal with in order to retain my people, not to lose them. And I started looking around, and I understood that there are no good tools, or at least at that time there were not. So yeah, we figured out how to measure employee experience on daily basis, so that whenever I, as a manager or leader, want to understand what's really going on in this or the other location with this or the other role that my people are in, so I can understand what's really going on, and it helps me a lot in managing my one-to-one relationship and also the team as a whole.
So tell us a little bit about it. So what's the secret sauce of MotorCheck?
Secret sauce, yeah. I mean, well, the secret sauce of right format, but I mean, the core of it is that MotiCheck asks every single employee every day a single question, and it is super easy to respond to it. It takes 2 or 3 seconds only. You can add this thumbs up, thumbs down, little bit of chat to add a comments, and that's it. And what you see as a result is your team's result. And our core focus is on employees and their direct managers, as opposed to some other competition that we are meeting who are focusing on making the life of HR managers better. But we believe that, I mean, this kind of tool is not a HR manager tool. It's a direct manager tool to manage team and people directly, and the ownership should not be in a HR department, but rather on a desk of every leader or manager.
Now, do you have sales today?
Yeah, we have local Baltic companies who are originating from either Scandinavian or Baltic countries. They are using our products. Yes.
So what's the goal for the company, Martin? Where do you want to go?
MotiCheck, well, we are going global, that's for sure. And global, we are looking at, of course, Scandinavian market, where the employee cost is rather high. So the return on investment is better, of course. And of course, very interesting regions for us are North America, I mean, USA, Canada, and also Asian countries, at least say selected Asian countries, because there is a lot of Western business, and also the business culture and sort of market protectionism is on a level where we see that we could be very competitive there, and
No,
really deliver the results to the companies who are looking to retain the people. Really, here, engage and retain is a slogan we use.
So what is the difference? Do you consider yourself a pulse survey, Martin? What do you consider yourself?
Yeah, we would like to consider us a survey sometimes, but our customer says that, hey guys, forget it. You are more of the management tool. I mean, it's a worn out expression, management tool, but the purpose is to make sure we understand our employees and can retain them, cut down the employee churn, because that's the cost that we are fighting against, and then where's the return on investment comes, and really increase the innovation and productivity as well. That's what I, as a direct manager, want to achieve, right?
Yeah, no, and so what kind of results do you see? Let's talk about results. What kind of results can a company see from instituting this? What do you see? How do things change in a company?
Yeah, what we do is that we measure the employee experience in 14 categories in total. One of those categories is focusing solely on new recruits. So new boys and girls receive a different set of questions, because I mean they just don't have experience on a company. But what we can do is to really extract the onboarding experience, and also touch upon the promoter score questions as well. Did you really feel that you made the right decision, and would you suggest us as an employer to your friends and family as well, that kind of things. But the rest of the 13 categories are classic, like leadership, engagement, mental health, compensation, processes, time usage, and we cover those employee experience categories daily basis in organization, and for a single team we can cover those within 2.5 weeks. So once you have used MultiCheck for a month, you already have a good dynamics building up, and you can build on that easily to really get the data that is I wouldn't say big data, but large enough to make really solid conclusions and decisions, and those decisions are not based on only one question. How do you like your manager or superior to decide on leadership quality? I mean, we shoot out more than 20 questions per category, so I mean it covers a lot.
No, that sounds good. And so where do you see this market going? I mean, who would you fit in with? What kind of partners are interesting for you?
Well, company size wise, we have very good customers who employ only 40-45 employees, but this is naturally not our target group in terms of sales activities. We see that this product works more for companies who have 500 plus employees. And also employee type. First of all, the customer has to have the pain, and the pain usually relates to either employee churn or the new situation after the COVID, when there is a lot of remote and hybrid work, and the direct managers just feel insecure in leading those people who are now physically distant to him. And quite often we see that there is an interest from companies who employ more technical stuff, like IT developers, construction engineers, maybe call center operators who are hired basically because their language skills and how they cope with the routine. And those people necessarily are not the best communicators. So our system, what it does really, what our customers leaders say is that we ask the questions that every person can come up with, but the thing is that you never had the time to go into that lengthy discussion with your employees.
Well, maybe that's why you have a lot of technical folks too, because a lot of times they're very introverted and they just get the job done, and they don't talk a lot about what's going on with them.
Exactly, and that's what we do. Our tech task the job for the manager. We go and chat with the employee every day and build you a dashboard that tells you, what's really going on in their opinion. And there is regarding the competition, I know, Gary, it's a bit intriguing to discuss it with you, the AI and machine learning part of it. But what we really have learned is that people are not really keen in the systems where machines are reading data and come up with like employee sentiment or satisfaction figures, because first of all there is like a big brother and feeling feeling like the system is spying on you when you are analyzing the text or speech, for example. I mean, those systems are very good for quality
Mark,
control and stuff like that.
I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing that's really interesting, right? We use Gmail, right? We all use Gmail. And guess what Gmail does? Hello. I mean, what do you think you're getting these incredible ads for something? You talk about, I just talked about a pair of binoculars. I wrote a note. I start getting ads for binoculars.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the thing is, we're concerned about it, about reading the Big Brother thing, but we use our phones. When we go into Facebook, we log in with other, we're going to use our Facebook login to log into these other things. It's like, it's crazy, right? On some side of it, because we're afraid about having systems understand who we are, but they already know.
True. But it doesn't mean that we necessarily like it. And that's the thing, that when you are talking about...
we don't like what we don't, we can't like it if we don't know that, or can't not like it. If we don't know what's going on, in the situation, if we just use Gmail and Yahoo Mail and all these things, and why do you think they're free? And there's a reason you don't get
paying for it.
Somebody's paying for it, right? We're paying one way or another. So, on the other side, I hear what you're saying. And, as human beings, the challenge is, if we don't do this to make our lives better, where we don't use surveys in your sense, or we don't do sentiment analysis, and we don't start to understand our employees, we got, like you said, the technical folks, sometimes they sit in there. Now, today, they could be in a room in their house all day long and never talk to another person. So, I mean, the other thing is, how do we reach out and help them and make things better? So it's almost like they're coaching tools, right? And then
and what we do is that we really like to make a good use of the existing communication channels as well. I mean, we can shoot the questions out through, Slack, Microsoft Teams, email. We have our own apps, or put a terminal into, I don't know, production unit if that's necessary as well. I mean, the main thing is that in doing an employee survey, especially if you want to engage them, then you have to deliver the results as well to them. So most disengaging thing is to ask a lot of questions and then deliver the result in a PowerPoint presentation to managers only. I mean, nobody is gauged to provide you any feedback in that kind of system. So important is to make it comfortable for employees, to provide them value. And regarding that value, talking about AI and machines, we have to understand one thing, that people actually like to make their lives more beautiful, more convenient by telling small little white lies. And we cannot take this away from employees as well. I mean,
they like to tell us a little more about it. What do you mean?
I mean, for example, we ask direct questions, but sometimes you don't want to say that, well, not exact wording, but I could say that, let's pretend that I'm working in your team and I receive the questions that, does your boss live the company values? Right. So generally speaking, yeah, Gary is a good fellow and does it, but last Friday, there was a bit awkward situation. So what should I say? I say, yeah, Gary is a good fellow, lives up the values.
Well, I mean, you can ask the question in different ways, right? That's just
yeah. But the thing is that we can ask the questions in several different ways, but we never guess how the employee will read it and understand it, because they are in a different situations. They might be, just jump out of the car, or maybe they just, read a, email with a bad sentiment, or something very, very happy and cheerful. So we don't know what's the background, really, mental background. And so therefore we have to appreciate that people want to tell us sometimes things that are not, the harsh truth. Machines can read the harsh truth, but people sometimes don't like it. So they tend to make it a bit better, more say beautiful and soften things up, and we have to appreciate it. In an organization, we are social animals. We don't want to be picky and aggressive with our colleagues or our people around us. So we tend to smooth things out, and that has to be appreciated. Which doesn't mean that we shouldn't use machine learning and AI. I think we can make a good use of using those tools in advising managers and employees, what to do with the results. And that's what we also are doing. So, what should I do now?
No,
The
I
trending things.
agree with you 100%, Martin. Agree with you 100%. So listen, we're coming up to the top of the show. I don't want to miss anything, but what are your final closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can get a hold of me. Of course, I'm active in LinkedIn and on moticheck.com, and my email is martin@moticheck.com. But regarding the closing thoughts, Gary, I mean, in a situation where we are living in a global world and business is globalized and post-COVID remote work situations, where work culture is really lead us to the situation where it is very important to listen to our employees to understand how they are performing and up their game. So when I'm looking at the big trends in employment world for the great resignation or quiet quitting, those shouldn't be surprising for us if we are considering how good or bad managers we are. And if we would manage our teams very well and listen to our employees, there wouldn't be such trends or phenomena at all.
We got to listen more.
Yeah, and as for example, Amy C. Edmondson claims in her book The Fearless Organization that psychological safety accounts for 47% of employee churn and 12% of production loss. So, I mean, those are huge figures to tackle. I mean, there's a lot of potential inside us to just become a better leader and better manager by using smart tools to cut down this employee churn and improve the productivity. So yeah, please here engage and retain your people is what I really call our customers.
Great resignation. A lot of people left. I mean, remember, companies put a lot of money in the human capital. We got to do a better job of making it the relationship better and really nurturing those folks. So, Martin, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Okay, so reach out to Martin on LinkedIn. Moticheck's an incredible company. He does a phenomenal job. And this is a way we've got to make our employees happier, healthier, and safer. And this is one of the tools to be able to do it. Thank you, Martin, for taking time out of your busy schedule today. It's appreciated. And thanks to all my audience for attending one more time. GSD Presents Silicon Valley AI and Tech. And my name is Gary Fowler, and I am your host. Stay tuned. I will be back again next Tuesday for another exciting edition. Tomorrow, I'm going to be out in Palo Alto, California, but stay tuned for another exciting edition next Tuesday. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. God bless. Talk to you all soon and see you again later. Thanks, Martin, for taking time. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you.